Have you ever walked into a room and felt like every single eye was secretly judging you? Maybe it's a work meeting, a dinner party, or even just walking into a coffee shop, and suddenly your brain starts whispering, "They're staring. You said something stupid. You don't belong here." That voice doesn't come from reality. It comes from fear. Social anxiety isn't about being shy or quiet. It's about fighting a constant war inside your own head. Every smile feels fake. Every silence feels heavy. And every interaction becomes a scene you'll replay in your mind for days. I remember once leaving a party early because I thought people found me awkward, only to realize later, no one even noticed I left. That's the exhausting truth. Most people are too focused on themselves to judge you the way you think they do. Here's the small lesson. Your mind is not always telling you the truth. The real battle isn't against people's opinions. It's against your own self-doubt. And when that voice starts to whisper again, remember, it's not you, it's fear speaking. But fear has a pattern, and it begins with how you see yourself.
What if your brain came with a built-in magnifying glass, one that only zooms in on your flaws? That's what living with social anxiety feels like. Every word, every gesture, every facial expression gets examined 100 times over. You become your own harshest critic, convinced that everyone else sees what you see. Maybe you've had this moment. You send a text, and the other person doesn't reply for hours. Instantly, your mind spirals. Did I say something wrong? Are they mad? Or you see friends post a group photo online, and your first thought isn't, "That looks fun," but "Why wasn't I invited? Did I do something to upset them?" It's not that you crave attention, it's that your brain is constantly scanning for signs of rejection. I used to replay conversations in my head like movie scenes, trying to spot the exact second I messed up. That mental microscope makes the world a stressful place because it turns every neutral moment into a potential threat. The irony? Most people aren't analyzing you at all. They're trapped under their own microscopes too. The small lesson here is simple but powerful. Not every silence hides judgment, and not every glance means disapproval. Sometimes people are just busy thinking about themselves. Once you understand that, you start to notice something deeper. The real problem isn't how others see you, but how you've learned to see yourself. And that takes us to the root of this constant fear, your sense of self-worth.
At the core of overthinking lies something deeper than just anxiety. It's a fragile sense of self-worth. When you constantly question your value, every interaction becomes a test you're desperate to pass. You're not just afraid of being judged. You're afraid that the judgment might confirm what you secretly believe about yourself, that you're not enough. Think back to childhood. Maybe you grew up hearing, "Be careful what people think," or "Don't embarrass the family." Slowly, your brain learned that love and acceptance depend on performance. You became hyper-aware, trying to be perfect, polite, likable, anything but a disappointment. And as an adult, that mindset follows you into every room you walk into. Take someone who apologizes constantly, even for things that aren't their fault. It's not just politeness, it's a fear response. Deep down, they believe they have to earn their place in every relationship, every conversation. That's not humility, that's broken self-worth disguised as kindness. The small truth here, confidence doesn't come from proving yourself to others. It comes from no longer needing their approval to feel at peace with who you are. And once you start healing that inner belief, something beautiful begins to shift. You stop living to please everyone else and start learning what you truly need. Which leads us to the next part, how overthinkers build invisible cages that keep them stuck. When your self-worth depends on how others see you, you start living life like a performer on stage. Every move, every word, every smile, it's all part of a script written for approval. You don't even realize it, but you're constantly scanning faces for reactions, adjusting your behavior like a chameleon just to stay liked. I remember a friend who was the nice one in every group, always saying yes, always putting others first. Everyone loved her, but behind that smile, she was exhausted. The praise felt good for a moment, but the moment it faded, so did her sense of worth. That's the trap. External validation is addictive, but it never lasts. It's like drinking salt water. It looks refreshing, but it only makes you thirstier. The problem isn't wanting to be appreciated. That's human. The problem is depending on it to feel okay. When you rely on others to tell you you're enough, you hand them the remote control to your happiness. And trust me, people are too distracted to hold that responsibility for long. The small lesson here: validation feels nice, but self-acceptance feels safe. You can't control what others think, but you can choose to value yourself, even in silence. And once you learn that, the war inside your mind begins to quiet, leading us to the final step: breaking free from the cycle of overthinking.
Healing from overthinking isn't about shutting your mind off. It's about changing the story it tells you. You've spent years measuring your worth through other people's eyes. But here's the truth. The only approval that truly matters is your own. Imagine this. You walk into a room and instead of wondering, "Do they like me?" you ask, "Do I like how I show up here?" That tiny shift changes everything. You stop performing and start being. You speak softer but truer. You listen without fear. You realize that peace isn't found in being perfect. It's found in being authentic. One of my friends started doing something simple. Whenever self-doubt crept in, she'd write down 3 things she liked about herself. Not achievements, just qualities. I'm thoughtful. I make people laugh. I try, even when I'm scared. Over time, that list became her quiet reminder that her value didn't depend on anyone's reaction. The real lesson? You don't earn self-worth. You remember it. It was always there, buried under fear and comparison. And when you start living from that truth, something beautiful happens. The noise fades. You stop fearing judgment because you finally trust your own reflection. Because at the end of the day, the battle isn't between you and the world. It's between who you think you are and who you've always been.